This is the Ink Pray Love podcast. We talk all things health, wealth, and community connection. Let's go. Welcome to this episode of the Ink Pray Love podcast. I'm excited to have you all back, and I'm excited to have one of my good buddies, a new friend that I met actually last year at Leaders Create Leaders in Tulum. Shout out to Gerard Adams for linking us up. This is my buddy Thor Aarsand. He is a Viking, the new generation of Vikings coming fresh from Norway. This is his first time in Bali, Indonesia, first time in Asia. Got him to come visit me and visit here at Lighthouse Studios in Bali, the premier content creation studio on the island and in Asia. So if you want to create some content, launch your podcast, do your thing, this right here is the spot. Without further ado, my boy, thank you for coming.
Bro, I'm excited. This is, this is my first time in Bali, like you said. First time in Asia, like my fourth day. And being in Aarsand, like being just riding with his wave has just been incredible. So far, I'm really loving it.
Yeah, you've been taking you on a ride.
Yeah, bro, you've been taking me all over. Like every day, there's like this thing. We're meeting this guy, and it's just like, yo, let's go. It's the perfect way to experience a new place, and so.
That's what I love about you, though, is I could just throw you into any situation and you're about it. Like, that's what Leaders Create Leaders was about, too, because there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
There was a lot happening. Like, every day was jam-packed with stuff. Yeah. And you and me were just like, let's go. Like,
bro, and we have that. I love that about myself, and I love that about you, too. It's that ability to so easily adapt to situations and just like, yo, this is what's happening. Boom, I'm down. I'm with that. We adapt and we flow with that.
Where does that come from for you?
Bro, that's a really good question. Where does that come from? As a kid, I've always been really versatile. And that's what I've realized is a lot of that has come from a need to get validation from people. So like I'm very skilled at very many different things, and it kind of comes into my upbringing. Grown up in Norway, spent a lot of time in nature, and we are very connected to nature. We're less connected to our ancestry and the history as we used to, which I really want to bring back, hence the Viking look.
And future Viking tattoos.
Yes, exactly. Aaron wants to tap my chest.
I got plans for this
He's
guy.
got plans.
I got plans for this guy. He's like, I want to get like a little patchwork. I'm like, chest piece, dragon boat, axes. The seed has been planted and it's growing, so that might come. But yeah, with the way I've grown up, spent a lot of time in nature, learned a lot of practical skills, always been really good at school because I really wanted to succeed in life, but also been like smashing all kinds of sports because I needed to be the best at everything I did, because that's how I would be okay with myself. If I wasn't the best at soccer or cliff diving or trampolining or Minecraft or whatever it was when I was a kid. Those are very random things to say in one sentence, my friend.
Yeah, bro.
Trampolining or Minecraft.
Bro, I was playing Minecraft on the flight from London to Singapore.
Well, I want to also stop you for a second when you said always been very good at school, and your grandma has some wishes. We were at dinner last night, and you're like, because you didn't finish high school.
Yeah.
And your grandma said, I just want you to finish school, and you're really good at giving massages. You should do that. So she wants you to finish high school so you can give massages?
Yeah.
Great, Grandma. Thank you.
Bro, she's she has my best interest at heart. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I just enjoy a lot of stuff. And so as I started going to the physical therapist, or whatever you call it, physiotherapist, and he's been massaging me, and I'm very into fitness. And so as he's massaging me, I'm learning about the trigger points. And so now I know how to massage other people. Okay. And so my grandma's, I don't even know how she's seen me massage anyone. Because like, it's not like I walk around massaging people at family dinners.
Grandmas have funny ways.
They have funny ways.
My grandma is hilarious. And so like my ex-girlfriend, the one I moved to Bali with, we broke up. God bless her. She's amazing. We're still good friends. And she went back to Vancouver. And my grandma for some reason thought that we broke up, and she was on the phone with like one of her grandma friends.
Yeah.
And my uncle was like in the room and just like overheard this, and she said, "Oh, I don't know when Aaron's gonna get married. Poor guy. He just had his heart broken. His girlfriend left him. I think it's because she had too many cats and dogs,
Bro."
And that made like no sense.
Yeah.
And, like, my uncle's like dying laughing. He's like, "What,
Bro?
Where did that even come from?"
They pick up on all kinds of stuff.
That doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
but she really wants me to finish high school.
Okay.
And she's old school, so I don't
fair.
blame her.
Fair.
But
what are you doing now? So you're high school dropout, but
Yeah.
all that you're up to
And-
now, I want to share this with the world about content creation and all this. That's where I wanted to go with today. But please,
Yeah.
What are you up to now?
So now I run, together with a couple of partners, an Instagram growth, content, and monetization agency. So we grow brands, and we're really leaning into the conscious space on Instagram, where the people we work with are mainly heart-led, conscious leaders who want to bring a positive impact to the world, which is beautiful. And it's so amazing because all the people that you're connected with and that you're sharing with me here is like these kinds of people. Not because we want to just work with everybody, but also this is the space that I want to be in because this is the people that I resonate with. So I really I'm feeling like I'm finding my tribe in Bali already, which is incredible. But yeah, so we do their social media growth. We do their content creation, curation, looking to see if there's any synergies and find a synergy with Lighthouse because you guys do the actual physical production, which is something that we've been wanting to lean more into to serve our clients in a higher level. But so far we're doing a lot of content creation and recording sessions with our clients through Zoom because we have mostly American clients and our team is international. I'm in Norway, partners all over
You've
the
been
place.
working with some epic humans,
Really epic
We've been
humans. I mean, that's how we came into contact because we work with Gerard Adams, and been doing his socials, which has been incredible. I mean, he sold his last company for $50 million. And here I am, this blonde kid from Norway, just like being thrown into like being able to connect with these kinds of people. It's forced so many upgrades for me. We got Jack DeLosa in Australia, which is awesome. The Cardone Ventures team. There's a lot of really, really powerful people. And it's forced me to grow very fast because when you're around people like that, like you can't be out of integrity. Like you can't be fucking around. You can't be smoking weed. And that's one thing that I've had the longest sort of like battle with is like my lower self who just wants to chill and smoke weed and kind of like be comfortable with where I'm at. And then there's like my true self, my higher self that just wants to fucking conquer the world and want everybody to see me and like really share what I'm about and what I can bring to the world because I really feel like I have a lot of unique gifts that I only can express. Like everybody has their own unique thing, and it's on you to find that throughout your lifetime. I really feel like I found mine I'm on that path and figuring that out, getting more and more clarity, and I just want to bring this to the world. And
I've been seeing you share it a lot. That's what's cool. Your content's been great because it's really like what you do and what you're about. And I think a lot of people listening would want to know, like, hey, what's making good content right now? How do you make good content in this day and age?
That's a really good question. So I'll get right into practicals and kind of speak a little bit around it. But Instagram is always changing and TikTok as well. But if you take Instagram, it's kind of like the core of it and everything expands into YouTube Shorts and TikTok. But it's kind of Instagram is the place. It's the modern day business card. The key right now is carousels and reels. More important than anything is the hook. And the storytelling that comes after the hook. Everybody, especially now, and you see this with any market, in any market, any business, there's different stages of awareness and sophistication that the market evolves through. And I have this from an incredible book. The greatest book of all time when it comes to advertising is called Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. It's like $100, $200. The last time I saw it was $500 on eBay. But it's a really good book. Everybody should buy this book. But it talks about the 5 stages of market sophistication. And it's kind of like when the market evolves, and you've seen on Instagram, as the market evolves, the more effort you need to put into your content to get attention. So what we've seen now is like there's subtitles, and the subtitles are moving so fast, and there's colors and emojis and B-roll and A-roll and all of that kind of stuff really to get attention. The market is now transitioning out of that and to the last stage. And the last stage is storytelling. That is what now resonates, especially with AI coming into the mix too. There's just less and less human interaction and human connection and depth that you feel. And that's what the consumers are looking for. So with my Instagram, the reason my Instagram is popping so much, and it's gained like 20,000 followers organically in the last month, which to me is kind of,
that's crazy.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah,
it's kind of wild. And I never expected that to happen, but it's because my content is rooted in, like, I speak a lot about truth and how I see the world. I'm also very vulnerable. I'm not afraid of sharing my low points. And I'm also telling stories. Like, every content piece that I throw out tells a story.
It's super funny that you said, like, okay, the stages of market sophistication, and it went through these, like, you know, really attention grabby type of shit. Then it goes back to storytelling, which is like the original, the OG sitting around a fire, just killed an ox or something,
exactly,
with the homies, or a deer if you're a Viking, and telling a story about it.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the original connection element is to be able to tell good stories.
Absolutely,
I love that stuff,
and it kind of speaks to just the core of us as humans, and in a way our soul too, because it's how we've evolved to communicate and evolved to learn is through storytelling. And so there's a very human aspect of it.
Sorry, it just reminded me of my mom. She's gonna be pissed I say this, but my mom's stories only have a middle. There's no beginning or end. They're just all middle.
Up to interpretation.
Like, I'm like,
what do you make of
this going? And
maybe
there's stuck in a story, and you're like,
you got to have a conclusion.
She lives in the small talk zone, man. God bless her.
Yeah.
That's why she's doing reception at the new shop, because she likes to talk to people. It's perfect. She's retired.
I mean, you have that from your mom.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. My mom's the OG of chatty. Yeah, that's where I got the gift of the gab from.
I guess your mom wouldn't pop on social because she doesn't have, she probably doesn't, I mean, she's probably good at engaging it, but without a conclusion, which you need on Instagram, because people are scrolling and they're not thinking, they're unconsciously just moving through. And so you need to tell them what they learned. So that's another piece, and that's really what enforces a lot of engagement and saves and shares is you actually concluding on the behalf of the audience. And that can be really simple. That can just be one statement. Like the one statement that I've consistently been using is like break the chain. So whatever I share, it's kind of like this is happening in the world and this is fucked up and everybody's addicted to their notifications and blah, 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 blah. And the conclusion kind of always comes back to break the chain. And that's kind of becoming my thing, and everybody can, like, I think people should have their own thing, because most brands nowadays and pages on Instagram, they're all doing the same thing. Like, everybody is repping the Alex Hermosi subtitle style with 5 different colors and emojis and all of that. And that worked 6 months ago, but it doesn't work anymore. It works. Like, for Alex, it will continue to work because he coined that. And the first people that started picking it up, it works. But if you're now starting to do that, like, it's not performing as it used to. And that's really the name of the game of all social media platforms, but especially Instagram and TikTok, is like, you got to be on top of the trends, and they are moving fast. Like, there are new trends coming every week, every month. And so we in our agency really have a team that just spend a lot of time, like, all day just finding trends and being on top of AI too.
It's crazy how fast it moves. That can get a little overwhelming for people. I feel like I've noticed that too. Like, I'm a bit out of the game. I'm like, what's cool now? I'm like, fuck, I feel old. But it's like, there's so much. It's always ever changing. How do you stay on top of shit?
That is a very good question. I mean, you got to scroll. And that's the thing that I don't like scrolling. I very rarely consume content on Instagram, and it isn't ideal because I need to scroll, but also I feel so shit when I scroll, because I easily compare myself so fast to everybody else, and I get caught in these rabbit holes. And
it's so weird. The scrolling is like doing cocaine, because it's like, you don't know why you do it. You don't exactly feel good, but you keep going.
It's
It's a weird thing. And
that was a really good analogy. That was phenomenal. little.
Like,
That's gonna be the intro from this.
It really is. Like, no one really likes how it feels. You're
Nobody really
anxious.
does.
You don't exactly feel good. Do people like me? You're all
Yeah.
confused about how you feel, and then you
you're
just
like
keep doing
fucking,
it.
and it's
You
6
can't-
a.m. and you
Yeah.
just can't stop.
You just
and
can't
it's
stop.
like,
You just can't stop.
and you know you need to sleep, but you're just like,
And then you just want to tell people a story about nothing. And
Yeah.
that's what it is. Then you do an Instagram
but
story.
that's what you got to do. Like, you really have to do that. I'm glad now that I can have support from the team
Yeah.
to like outsource that, because it just fucks my mental.
You got a
Really,
great-
I
you got a
can't
great
start the
team,
day.
too. Shout out to Harrison.
Yeah,
He was
bro.
there. This guy,
Fucking
how old
beauty.
is Harrison? 21, 22?
22. Yeah,
These
he's
kids,
turned- yeah.
you guys are so much fucking smarter than I was at that age. Like, it's crazy. I was just,
It's-
doing ecstasy.
It's really
Just going
weird,
to
bro.
raves.
It's really weird because like I feel like mentally I feel so old, but at the same time like so young. Like I'm
Yeah.
still this kid, and I'd totally try a backflip here in the studio. Maybe not, but like I'm there, and I love that, expressing that inner child.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird because like most of the people that I resonate with are like 20 years older than me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
10 years older than me, and that have been on this path. I was speaking to this guy yesterday basically, and my age, extremely wealthy, really successful, making multiple 7 figures per year with social media, a lot wealthier than me, and we're talking, and dope conversation. But consistently throughout the conversation, he's showing me like screenshots of his income and like validating himself. And I'm just very interested in learning, and I'm asking a lot of questions because I want to know. And he's talking, he's sharing. And it's not that I was like upset that he didn't ask me about me, but there wasn't any question a part of the conversation where he asked me about me. And I was like, damn, this is so interesting. Like, and it's not me judging him, but it just kind of speaks to a level of immaturity. And that's what I find with older people. Like, they're more aware of themselves, and they don't have that need to validate themselves.
Yeah. I used to do this. I totally get it, where I'd just be like projecting so much of like, look what I can do, and just like so much of that, and it's a sign of insecurity because you just so badly want to be validated that you're just shoving down people's throats like me and what I do. And now what I've seen, actually, the true form of actual, if you want connection, that's what they're doing, is that they want validation and connection. But to actually bring in connection, to truly connect with someone, ask them questions about them, and then they'll feel connected to you. And that's actually the best way to do it.
And like, be excited about that. Because people don't remember what you said or did; they remember how you made them feel.
Exactly.
So you got to make people feel
And
fun and
it's
exciting.
crazy because I met a lot of rich people, and I met a lot of like douchey rich people. Like I met people who are rich because they're awesome, and I met people who are rich because they just like grind all day and find ways to make money, but then there's no depth.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think they're happy.
No.
You can have lots of money and be very unhappy. I've been there, and I know what that's like, and
Mm.
it's not a fun place. But being rich in presence and connection and friends, that actually does make your life better. It really,
That's
like,
what
you're
matters.
way happier.
That's what matters.
So I know that's like the actual path. But I want both. I want to have lots of
I
money.
want,
and,
yeah,
you know,
100%. We get to have both.
Yeah,
We get
exactly.
to have it all.
Exactly.
That's like a part of in my mind, the purpose on earth too. Like, we are in a very materialistic place, and like, let's fucking experience this. Like, let's have all the cars. Let's have the mansion. Let's do this. And also for me, like, I need to have it and experience it before I know it's not going to bring me happiness. So there's a I guess balance to that as well.
Yeah. You think there's a correlation there? Like, there's the content that goes viral but doesn't have much substance. It's just like overtly super sexy or like really sensational. And then the one that actually inspires true connection. Does that last longer?
Yes,
like
and that's so interesting too, because on Instagram nowadays, we've seen a massive shift to where content with depth, rooted in truth and service, is taking off. Like, it's really taken off, which is so exciting because it's a massive opportunity for us who have spent more time really going within and connecting with ourselves and leaning into the shadow and growing and healing our trauma. Like, for us, this is amazing because, and again, it comes back to the 5 stages of sophistication. The market is evolving. They want storytelling. They want depth. And bringing that now is more potent than ever, and it's responding better than ever. So absolutely.
I'm super happy to see that because like
Yeah.
I was really like, man, we're getting dumber as a species. Like we're getting more shallow.
Yeah.
And we're getting more about the bling bling and fancy shit. And like that'll never stop. That's always just a part of human nature. We want
Yeah.
shiny things and we want to look cool. But then the actual depth there, I think we're starting to wake up a bit more. Like, okay, we want to be happy
Yeah.
and actually truly happy. We're always going to respect the flashy shit, but also we want people to be conscious and heart led.
And also, I'm seeing a massive evolution in just, I mean, and there's been so like Andrew Tate's brought a lot of this, and the last 2 years has brought a lot of this in terms of people waking up and seeing the world isn't actually what we was told it was. It is different, and this is forcing spiritual growth in a lot of people, and the energy.
I didn't know if I was like gonna correlate Andrew Tate to spiritual growth. That's a reach for me, but I get that he's polarizing.
He's polarizing. I guess he's putting awareness on the first piece, which
Yeah.
is the world is a lie. So okay, if that's a lie, like what else is there, and what else doesn't mean anything? Okay, so this won't bring me happiness, having a big house and buying all these pills and all of this shit. Like, okay, what is the alternate way to live? And so he's like very surface level and obviously very
he's a
controversial.
fucking online pimp.
Yeah, he's an online pimp. Yeah,
it's kind of cringy.
Online marketing pimp for sure. But I really respect the work that he is doing, despite how he goes about it. I would never go about it that way because it wouldn't feel true to me. I wouldn't say those things, but I get that he's saying a lot of this shit for marketing stunts and really to expand, which is interesting. But
did you see? I just saw it because AI is crazy, right?
Yeah.
And so you know how they can like deep fake someone,
Bro.
and there's a new one where it's like save the Tates, and I saw this yesterday. And it was hilarious. I'm so happy it's a thing, but it's like AI using deep fake for Andrew Tate and then empowering women. And I'm like, that's gangster.
That's gangster.
Yeah. I'm like,
That's
great.
so sick.
He's like fully like, you know, in a feminist way, like in the healthy feminist. And it's like, that's hilarious. I just love that they twisted that. I'm like, that's great. That's actually
I'm
great.
gonna make that into a content piece on my IG.
It's pretty
That's
good.
probably gonna pop, bro.
Yeah.
I saw this other video as well of you know, Leonardo DiCaprio in the fucking Titanic movie, and he's gonna draw this woman,
of course,
with a necklace, and it's but it's deep fake, and it's fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger his face, and it's like, oh, Leonardo, draw me when are you a woman without this, and it's his face, and it's moving so smoothly. It's fucking hilarious.
I think the way tech is going is crazy. Like
It's
AI. I mean, I want to drop into it a bit more, but I kind of feel a little bit like when crypto's popping off too. I'm like, I know about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not like diving deep into it kind
Yeah.
of thing. So it's like, okay, maybe this is something I gotta respect a bit more. But I've been
For sure.
Did you hear about Elon saying like we're knocking at the devil's door here?
Yeah, bro. I actually made a post about this, and
Okay.
it's bro. I'm getting chills right now because it's a really fucking creepy industry, and it could totally
annihilate us.
It could totally, absolutely, bro.
Skynet, Terminator.
I mean, there's this fucking chick that, have you seen Westworld and the show?
I want to drop
It's
into
on
it.
HBO.
I haven't watched. I've heard of it.
Bro, I saw it like
Yeah.
4 years ago, season 1 and 2, and it's really cool, really
Okay.
fascinating, really freaky too.
Okay.
And there's this woman that wants to build a real life Westworld. And so Westworld is like, you basically take a train to this desert, Westworld, like in that sort of old school type way of living with Western houses and like a fucking sand and horses and shit. And every person that lives there are like NPCs, they're bots, but they look exactly like human, feel exactly like human. And they also believe that they are fully human.
Oh.
So you have this sort of plot throughout the series where some of these Westworld bots are becoming more and more conscious and realizing that they are a construct of someone's imagination and they're not a human, but they think they are, and they live their life on repeat, and they're waking up, and it's really freaky, and it ends up kind of they're clashing with the humans, and and she wants to build that. Like, bro.
I think about this sometimes too. Like, is that us? Like, because we're just a construct of like, you know, a big conscious soup, and that we're all just fragments of that conscious soup.
I fully believe that.
You know,
Totally
and so
believe
then
that.
like we're just playing a big game here.
So
and
we're
this
just
is
like now we're a
NPCs.
product of God, and now we're trying to be God and like do something else.
we're like God's NPCs.
We're God's NPCs, basically. Yeah,
What does
you
it stand
could
for
say
again?
that.
Non something player. What does NPC stand for again for everybody? Who doesn't-
Non
participating character.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like in video games where they have like, no, I'm the main character, but it would be like, you know, like the sideline guy or like,
And who will like move like
yeah, like
high.
like one of the turtles in Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
And
basically.
it's just like a thing there. But
The
it's
guy
not-
you
it's not
talk to,
Mario.
you get a quest, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Okay, get on it with your
He
journey."
has like 4 things to
Yeah,
say.
4 things to say exactly. It's funny, bro. Like you'll talk to some people in real life, and they'll feel
They have
like
4
fucking
things to say.
NPC. They have 4 things to say, and they engage like an NPC. It's weird, bro.
Yeah, I wonder that because I read this book, Busting Loose of the Money Game, and it was pretty interesting. But it was like we are all having our own experiences, and that everyone else is a character in our experience.
Yeah.
And that like we need to focus on our own reality and experience. But then there's another book I read where it was breaking out of self-deception. And this is like you're living in the box where you just think it's your own life and everyone is a character in your own life. And that's how you cause and create dysfunction in your life. You need to think of everyone else having their own experience in their own lives. So they're directly conflicting books, right? And I'm like, well,
That's interesting.
it's super interesting on that note because we need to focus on our own life. And
I think it's a
spending.
balance to it.
Yeah.
It's like an obvious, like once you felt it, like it's an obvious, to me, it's an obvious balance, but it's a feeling.
Yeah.
Practically communicate, like logically communicating that, I have no idea how it would like explain that.
I could just see it as in, okay, the way I'd reason with this is like, okay, this universe could be a construct of my mind, but all of it is me. So like we are actually one being. We are actually coming from one cosmic soup. So yes, I need to focus on my own experience, but I need to treat you like you're me.
Yes.
And so then that's where that empathy and compassion actually comes in. The whole world is us.
Exactly.
So that's like, okay. And I think whether
Acknowledge
that's true or not,
that we are everything and we're all one, but also embrace the experience of being separate.
Yeah.
But with the awareness that we are all one.
I think you'd be a more compassionate human if you do it that way. And being a compassionate human is good for you. Like
really good for you.
It is selfishly good for you to be
really
more
good for
compassionate. Because I do this all the time, and I think I've talked about this on a couple other episodes. Like I drive through the downtown east side in Vancouver, which is rough. It's the worst open air drug market on the planet. Like thousands of drug addicts in one space. It looks like Land of the Living Dead. It's intense.
It's crazy.
It's the craziest shit you've ever seen.
Yeah.
You would blow. It'd blow your mind.
It would blow my
it's
mind
like
for
completely
sure.
different from Norway.
Yeah.
Like it's the craziest shit you'd
There
ever
doesn't
seen.
exist homeless people in Norway.
There's
just
people
for context.
smoking heroin on the street, and you just drive by, and there's like, and you're just like, that guy's doing heroin, and just
That's
it's the craziest shit
crazy.
you've ever seen. Like it's so wild, right?
Yeah.
And before that, I would drive through, and I'd just be like, get the fuck out of my way, you crackheads! I'd be so mad. I'm like, I'm working 5 jobs. I'm so busy. Like, get a job. You know, I'm like angry.
Yeah.
And I had my buddy Trevor Miller on the podcast a few episodes ago, and he's talking about like this is actually a practice for you to practice compassion. Like this is your practice. That's why you're feeling this. That's why you're driving through it. That's why this is in your life right now, because you're supposed to practice compassion for them. And I'm like, fuck, okay. But what's cool is that made my experience better. Actually, then think of other people and practice compassion for them made my life better.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, there's a key there. So when we take it circle all the way back to content creation, you know, if it's not just for me, I want validation, I want likes, I want this, I want status. But if it's actually around how can I make other people's lives better through what I put out, everything responds better. Like everything.
Energy of that.
Yeah.
The energy of that, people feel it. And I think I've been doing Instagram for 7 years, and I'm in a very unique position because I've had so many ups and so many downs. I have grown to appreciate the things that I normally wouldn't appreciate. So, for example, now my page is taken off, but every comment to me is like, thank you so fucking much for putting your energy and time into that. So I had one video, and I respond to almost every comment. Now I have 2 videos with 10 million views and like 10,000 comments. I think I've responded to like 40% of those 10,000, but that's a lot of fucking comments,
4,000
bro.
comments.
That's a lot of comments, bro.
That's a lot of
And so I
comments.
really, and that too, it comes back to what you said. Like when you genuinely care about your audience, one, responding to your comments actually help boost the algorithm. You should do that. Respond to every comment every hour, but also like the day after, you can go back and respond to comments and like the comments, and it will push engagement or awareness back on the post from the people that commented, which will help boost it again. So I'll have posts that have stopped going viral. I'll go back and respond to all the comments from like a week ago, and it will pick back up again. It will go viral.
Okay.
But also that just for me, I understand the practical algorithm hack of that, but I also genuinely just care, and I'm really interested in the people on my page. So there's a genuine interest to serve.
Yeah. It's a funny balance because like I get a lot of comments or DMs, and like I respond to pretty much all of them unless there's some weird shit. When people just say hey, it's so fucking annoying to me because it's just like, yo, it's usually people from India. I love you, India, but like, give context. Like, give context. Don't just say hey.
Yeah.
Give like I don't know you, so don't just say hey or hi.
Yeah.
Like say what do you want? You know, like, give me more context.
Yeah.
That's annoying for me. Or a voice note and I don't know you. And it's just
you don't like that?
The wrong, long, rambling voice note, and I don't know you. It's like that's invasive for me. Obviously, I'm a very temperamental guy.
Well, you also have this like fucking condition where you don't tolerate high sounds.
I hate because I've had 12 concussions, man. Yeah. So like sounds that are abrasive for me, I feel them in my head, and I'm like, ugh. But back when what I wanted to talk about before though was 10,000 comments.
Yeah.
Do you get comments out of those people who, and you're putting out pretty positive stuff, but do you get comments
positive and quite controversial?
Yeah. Do you get people who just hate your face? And just tell you about it?
Bro,
fuck you, Thor in general. in particular.
Like, who are you pretending like you're Viking? You're not. Like you're like drinking from I have this like drinking mug which is a deer horn.
Cool.
So and he's like just really taking the piss. Like who do you think you are pretending to look like Ragnar? You're not Ragnar. But like 90% are like, oh, it's Ragnar. Like they're really loving it. Yeah. And also there was this one woman. I made a video and I was like the hook of the video was like Andrew Tate said a lot of stupid shit, but this is pure facts. And it's a video of Tate. And a woman just like goes to my like comments like, oh my God, you are so positive and I loved your content, but how can you promote this like sexist? So you say you hate women and you are like, so you punch women, and like I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what's going on?
Stop punching women.
Stop punching women. Little uppercut.
That's horrible.
But I think it's funny as fuck, bro. And I've never been this grateful. There's been so many times, especially in my like early days with YouTube. I was growing my YouTube channel. I kind of stopped, but grew a really solid YouTube channel, like 10 million views overall on my channel. And I would get so attached to the comments.
Yeah. YouTube comments are nuts.
And they're kind of nuts, bro.
That's a wild
And I was also like,
right
it was my whole life. That. So there was so much attachment to that. Now I don't give a fuck. And like my income is not dependent whatsoever on my Instagram. So I also have an opportunity and ability to give less fucks because I don't need anything from it. And that also allows me to grow and effectively, grow and progress more because I don't have that attachment.
People are funny when they talk shit on the internet, and I get this too. Of course, like anybody who's putting out content, you're gonna get some haters.
Yeah.
There's gonna be people,
especially when you look like you.
Yeah, it's usually, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
So it's like a projection. Like I get this too, right? Like I put out some stuff of like what I love about the Sikh culture, like what I love about my culture.
I just need to clarify. That's not because you're darker than me. I was thinking about the tattoos. Just everybody's clear.
And some guy was like, who are you to talk about the Sikh culture? You should just shut up. Like some shit like that, right? So, and then it's always these motherfuckers that have like 0 photos. Like zero followers. And just like, they're just hiding. Like they're just, it's just a ghost way for them to talk shit. Don't do that, people. Don't be some person talking shit on the internet. You have better things to do with your time. You damn sure should have better things to do with your time. Yeah. Don't be a random internet asshole. Just be a nice person and don't waste your time talking shit on the internet. It is not good for you.
It's crazy that like if you actually think about it, like this person is so extremely lost and confused and stuck and in being a slave to their phone that they'll spend their time doing that.
Pick fights
like
on the internet.
It's mind-blowing. Like, but it also kind of makes sense because there is extremes to everything.
Of course.
But it's just crazy. And like that's one thing that I talk a lot about on my page is like it's so easy to have that negative momentum totally make you a slave to your phone and you're running around with notifications and you're checking everything all the time.
Yeah.
But it's also so fucked. Like it fucks you so bad, but it's not until you actually take a step back and like take 3 days off of social where you don't touch your phone, which nobody would ever do, and I would love to do more of that, but I work on my phone, so I like can't presently. But once you're able to sort of step back, you realize how much control that thing has over your life.
Oh, bro, it's
And
crazy.
if you want to be a creator, if you really want to like smash it on social media, you can't. You need to be a consumer to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But that also is so difficult because you get caught on this rabbit hole. But
It's
like
crazy.
you can't be there. You can't be doing that shit.
I used to teach this a lot where it was like, don't be a consumer, be a creator.
Yeah.
And that was a lot in branding and building brands. It was like, don't consume content, just create.
Yeah.
But it's really hard because you also got to see what other people are doing. You want to see what the market is doing. You want to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you get sucked into it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's such a vicious loop.
And
Because
you're
I'm like,
fuck, I should have done that thing. You know,
no, I just don't want to be addicted to looking at my fucking Instagram because it just takes. And then my account's been shadow banned hard for like a while now, and I'm like, I did this stupid giveaway post with these people. Goddamn, Sasha got me into this thing. And,
that's so bad.
And it fucked my account up, and I'm like, why did I do this thing? You know, it's like, and so it's like it's been bad. And also, I posted a few things about the Canadian Prime Minister. I think that got me in trouble. Like, I went against the Instagram guidelines of something about COVID. You can't talk about that. Apparently,
I've had 2 posts taken down. And
violates community guidelines.
And it's like it was a really controversial post about
Government of Canada. You're violating community guidelines.
Yeah,
fuck you. I'm sorry. Let's not get banned again.
It's true though, but it's like the part of the post that they actually like could take me for legally was I misquoted Thomas Jefferson. Because there's this one quote, and apparently, like according to whatever website, he didn't say it exactly that way, but the quote is like, when tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty, something like that. And so I had that post on it, and it's like kind of like a bunch of images of strong men, like weak men create hard times, so like that whole thing. Kind of like really throwing jabs at the music industry too, of all the bro, that's a dark industry.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's really wild, bro. It's really wild.
It's a lot of crazy shit out there.
It's a lot of crazy shit out there. But yeah.
I've seen that though, like in any industry where there's a lot of money and an ability to influence, darkness is going to proceed into that space because there's so much ability to have power over people that there is going to be, I mean, absolute power creates, just you know how that one goes. It's just like, okay, that's really gonna fuck with people's hearts. And so that kind of control, that's why what I love about what you guys met with the Yogi Lab boys down south is they want to decentralize power and give power to everybody. So we don't have to be, slaves to these huge conglomerates or, corporate states.
That's that's the whole intention of our agency and our mission. Like we're dedicating a good portion of the company profits to buy land to be able to, and it's so cool speaking with Dave and the Astana and the Yoga Lab guys, because they're so much further ahead of us than in terms of that aspect of the mission, and they're already doing these things, and it's really, really inspiring. And that's what we need. Like, we need more decentralized power. We need people to fucking go back and start farming again and be less reliant on the system to provide you food. And same with all kinds of things. Have your own electricity like that. I'm trying to go full off grid. I'm like fully.
It's illegal to have your own electricity in the States, and I think in Canada, like you can't actually, like, you have to be on the grid.
Bro, that's so fucked up.
It's crazy.
I was talking to this chick yesterday, and she told me how in Amsterdam and in like Scandinavian countries, and I didn't know this actually, but it's illegal to do homeschooling, which is legal in the States.
Yeah.
So there's things that are like, why the fuck are you trying to like make this illegal? But it's like it just is.
Yeah.
And that's how they gain control, and that's how they build monopoly. I mean, even the music industry too. Like Sony owns everything, and it's almost impossible for you to gain an influence and go up and coming unless you're really smart and strategic with Instagram. Like, check out Connor Price. I don't think he's signed to anybody. He's popping off on Instagram. Really creative, a good artist. Harry Mack as well, best freestyler fucking ever.
I think Russ did that too.
Bro. Exactly. And that's why the whole music industry kind of hates Russ, and why he's like, fuck you to everybody.
Shout
but he's awesome, bro. He's awesome. And he did this shit himself. And
I like that he did it himself.
Yeah.
He produces and does the beats and raps.
Bro, he's fucking, and he does the...
He's a genius.
Exactly.
So cool to see that stuff, right?
And if you listen to his music too, there's more depth, and he's not talking about Satan and fucking all these people and killing people and like
put you on game. That song.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And that's what, and
Proper.
that's
Yeah.
the majority of the music industry, and that's how they fucking program people, and
Yeah,
that's how just practically look at the UK, like the whole scene in the UK, like it's the stabbing capital of the world,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
just taken off, and it's heavily influenced by the music industry and by the scene, because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
all that's popping, and that's all that's being talked about.
It's difficult because like I
Sad.
grew up loving hip hop and like
I love that shit too, yeah.
But then also, damn, it feels good to be a gangster because I was just like, it made me want to like ride the Benz and like just do gangster shit. It's just like this feels
Exactly.
good. I'm cool.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah,
like-
exactly.
So it is like it's a total thing. And when I love the Weeknd's music. I grew up like I love Trilogy album. I love
Bro,
the old school Weeknd was
yeah.
his best shit. I think
Yeah.
right and. But it would make me want to have like sexy drug times. Like it was just like
Yeah.
really like it's
Yeah.
just it does what you listen to does get into your head, right?
It really does.
And then I'll go through
Really
phases where I'll
does.
just listen to like Indian mantra music, sitar music, and then I'm just like shanti shanti. And it's just like, that's the vibe, you know. Like
Yes, bro.
it's super true.
Shanti, shanti.
Yeah. Like what we put into our minds really affects us, right?
It's-
And there's a time and a place. Like I love training, and I'll listen to something like I'll listen to hip hop or something. But
Yeah.
like I noticed that these words carry frequencies, and we got to be careful with it. And just like what we put on the internet, you know, what we put out in our content carries a frequency, and if we're getting out there and we're getting an influence, we got to be careful with what we say. And
Yeah.
and I've had this many times because I have a pretty fucked up sense of humor. I have a dark
bro,
sense of humor,
same,
you know. And
same.
I'm like, I love to just say ridiculous things as it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But I need to be very careful
Yeah.
because if I'm like, you know, saying this stuff and I got like, you know, high school kids following me, I have to be careful,
Yeah.
man. I don't want them to take me seriously when I'm just joking around or, you know, impact them negatively. Like we have a responsibility for what we
so
put out.
funny you mentioned that, bro, because I had a conversation with my business partner, and like one of his fears of having me go crazy big on social was my sort of fucked up sense of humor.
Yeah.
Like, and I'd say it's a culture thing too, but like racist jokes is like very trendy and just like normal in Norway.
What the fuck?
But it's not that we are racist. Yes, there's for sure some people that like crack them because
Racists
they're,
are
like,
everywhere.
racist. It's everywhere.
Racism's
But-
everywhere.
But like really edgy jokes about sexuality and racist stuff, like
Is that just
it's
normal?
like it's ingrained into us as a people that
yeah.
it's just the shit, and it's hilarious. But and so like I sometimes catch myself like, holy shit, I can't say that like when I'm around.
It's actually it's really I know exactly.
And I've
what
learned
you
a
mean.
lot with like, because my partner's from the UK and he grew up in a like UK, not gang environment, but like all boys school, all of that, like a Muslim family, and so we come from completely different backgrounds, and so it's helped me grow so much because I've said shit and he's just like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, huh? What do you mean?
Then you realize how that impacts
and
someone
I'm like,
else.
oh shit, I never saw it that way. And
Yeah.
it's sometimes taken me like years to realize certain things.
We need to be held accountable.
But
for what
we have
say.
to, yeah.
I had the exact same thing with like I have so many gay friends. I love gay guys. Like they're my homies. Like,
Yeah,
have
bro, I fucking love
I have
gay people,
I have
bro.
close friends who are
Yeah,
gay, and I just love hearing about it. One of my personal trainers was gay, and I just be like, yo, what kind of gay shit did you get up to this
Yeah,
weekend?
bro, for
He's like, I
real.
sucked a married guy's dick. I'm like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I love it. It's fucking funny. Like and I
Yes.
appreciate them. They give me good style. tips.
Yeah.
Like, I love gay guys, but I grew up saying, oh, that's gay.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a thing that's been.
But how else
ingrained
would you describe gay shit?
No, but it's not that. It's not the gay stuff.
Yeah.
We've been using it in Canada, like where I grew up, as a term for like something that's not good.
Oh,
Like,
that's what you're same in Norway, actually. Same in Norway.
I think it's a global.
like
it's a global thing. That's a pretty gay thing.
when you
bro.
got to wear a mask, it's like, oh, it's kind of gay.
Exactly.
And it's like,
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's like, goddamn, I love saying that because
Yeah.
it's so grown into who I am. But also, I don't want to affect my actual gay friends or gay people in general negatively.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that to
Yeah.
hurt them. I love them. I want them to be happy, and I don't want to hurt their feelings or disrespect them.
Yeah.
And so it's something I have to ingrain
That's
that.
one thing that I'm still like kind of wrapping my head around, like how do I actually feel about this? Because most of the even when us talking right now, there's maybe going to be one or two people that are like, how the fuck could you say that? But if you look at the energy behind how we're saying it, we're not intending at all to offend anybody, and we have so much love, and
But-
so but
you can't. You were going to offend people.
Yes,
it
but
is a
that's
thing.
their choice to take that offense.
I know. I don't think. But I don't think.
Yeah.
It's like saying the N word. Like, oh, we don't mean to say it in a bad
Yeah.
way. But then you look at just
That one
how-
also kind of pisses me off. How they're just like,
But you can't do it, bro. You can't. You just
I
can't
know.
do it. You can't do it. I know it's fun to say,
Yeah.
and we love rap music, and we
Yeah.
want to say it, and we have zero malice. We have,
do you ever
love-
say it behind closed doors?
No, well, I can't. But yes.
Yeah,
Only
yeah.
when I'm quoting rap lyrics, though, or
Really?
like Dave Chappelle.
Like no other times.
No, I can't. Like I don't say it ever maliciously at all whatsoever.
No, not maliciously, but like when you're with your homies or whatever, and there's like
It would be
nobody
only
around.
if I'm quoting like a Dave Chappelle quote, you know,
really
stuff like that.
Damn,
Yeah,
you're like really dialed your.
Bro, I live in Canada.
Yeah.
I have lots of black friends.
That makes
It's like you're in
sense.
Norway. You
Yeah, I'm in
barely need black
Norway,
people
a little
around
bit more
you. Bro, you'll get knocked
isolated.
the fuck out if you say that around your own black guys.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's really like what we have to think about is how that's going to make other people feel, not our enjoyment of saying something or like what we're trying to say. It's like what's the energy?
I agree.
And
I agree.
It's like okay, how would that
And
make
also, a lot of people just leverage it as a reason to be upset, or because you have a lot of people that just walk around in clubs and they want to fight people.
Yeah,
And so it's like the same with the N-word. Sometimes
You can't
it's
be
like
saying
a
that in a
guy
club.
that's just
You're gonna
like
get a fight.
wants somebody to say it so they can fight. So they want to do that.
Yeah, but they got a reason for it. But there's people who are looking for reasons to be offended.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. So, we need to be sensitive about like how what we say impacts others. That's extremely important.
Yeah.
So we can't be
100%.
hateful.
100%.
Or just saying something because we think it's funny. Then you
Yeah.
realize how that's actually going to impact others. But also, we live in a super hyper PC world where everything
is offensive and everything's
fucking offending everybody, right? And there's layers to this. Like I noticed I was like I feel inconvenienced if I have to say my own pronouns. I'm like fuck man, like don't. It's just
I've
inconvenient
never
for
even-
me.
yeah.
But then also being discriminated is pretty inconvenient for people being discriminated. So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
all right, I want to be respectful.
The pronoun thing though, I'm like not feeling that whatsoever.
It's hard. It's hard. I want to be respectful.
Yeah.
But
But it's just like, I like if they, I guess, approached it or brought it to us. Again, I'm generalizing, but like 95% of the content I've seen is just like blue-haired crazy people that just are like obsessive. And so when that's my perception of the concept and like where it came from, I'm like, no, fuck that.
because like it's the same.
So I
thing-
just can't take it serious. I just see it as a big joke.
Some people ruin it for others.
Yeah.
But so like it was like this with like as long as they're a good person, I'm down. Like as
Yeah.
long as you're nice.
Yeah.
You know, so I taught this masterclass at this co-working space in Vancouver, and about 9 people. It was a branding masterclass. I did it for free, just as part of like I have a membership there. We did a collab. I'm just happy to help the community there, and then we did a thing. And so about 9 people came, and I was helping them at different stages of where their branding was at. Right.
Yeah.
And so again, I did this for free, and everybody was really, really grateful, but this one person came in and she's like, yo, I'm two-spirit, transgender, non-cis. It was like this massive list. It was like 5 things. And yo, I just been living in Bali for 7 years. I'm not up to date. So this is very much like a new thing for me. And so they, because it's not a she or a he, I'm a they, and you can refer me to as they or it. And it's a new one for me. I never heard it before. So I was like, okay. So I was like, trying to give it more attention to be like I'm overly PC. I'm just trying to be really welcoming because I'm like I don't know how to respond to the situation because it's very new for me and I want to be super nice, you know. And I could tell it was somebody who'd be offended easily. I could just tell it. And so I was just like, okay, I need to like I want to be very welcoming because I really wanted to be like kind in this situation. So I was trying extra hard, but it was making it hard for me because it was just being kind of rude, right? And I was just like looking for a reason to be offended. And so I was just okay, I'm trying to like, I'm giving branding tips, I'm giving extra attention, I'm just trying. At the end of the branding masterclass, everybody's super like thankful. They're all coming up to me and like, yo, they got a lot out of it. They're grateful. They want to connect in the future. It just walked out of there, just looked at me and just left. And I was like, not even a thank you,
bro.
And I'm like, yo, so that like, that's where I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
I will meet you more halfway. I will show up. I'll be kind and caring, but you can't be like like impolite at that point. Like just be polite. You know, that's where I was like, oh.
Just the entitlement.
But then on the other end of it, I have like lots of friends who are like, okay, they're trans, they're gay, they're this, that, and they're cool. Like they're just not just like you have to be cool. I mean like nice, like kind.
Yeah.
And kindness is my currency there. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care if you want to suck dicks. I don't care what like, dicks need to do it. Like,
somebody's got to suck those dicks, and somebody wants those dicks sucked. So it's got to be done.
Fun. Go have all the dicks. I'm super happy for you. Like I love hearing about it. It's fun. I like to joke around with my friends about it. Like it's cool. Like I'm super. I love this shit. It's fun for me. But you got to be nice. Like just be kind. Like just be a kind person. So that's my barrier.
Be a kind cocksucker. That's
exactly.
it.
Yeah. Please. So in content, in a world that we're so, I get because your stuff, can be polarized. Like, back to the content.
Bro, this is fucking hilarious.
Tangent.
I'm having so much fun.
back to the content thing. There's something I know Russell Brunson said it a bunch that you did work with as well. Was we need to be polarizing. That's something that does you want.
Yeah.
And there's a world where I'm scared to get canceled. Like it's just a thing. It's like, okay, you don't want to say too far.
And Russell is not very polarizing. No. It's been we work with him. He's been a client for 3 years, and it's been probably one of the most difficult things on a content front is being more polarizing. Yeah. Because he really doesn't want to offend anybody, and he's very kind, but he is kind of polarizing because he speaks a lot about his religion. So that is a way of polarizing and sort of just like weeding out the people that you don't want.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to be polarizing, and the more polarizing you dare to be, the more reward you will have, but also it will be more uncomfortable. But at the end of the day, the more uncomfortable things you sort of push yourself through, the more growth you will have. And that's an internal thing, but actually on social media, it's also an external thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting in that place because it's like, be polarizing, but I don't think it should be in a way that's like you're doing it excessively just to get attention to hurt people. And I think that's
and there's a balance, that's like kind of where I'm dancing because I've always lived life on the edge, and I'm always like very close to sort of that boundary, whatever it is if it's trampolining or Minecraft, like I'll go close to the lava and almost fall in, or like do that jump, or I'll try the double backflip, even if I'm not sure I'll have enough bounce, like. So I enjoy that, but like on social, it's being close to that line. It's beneficial, but like again, when you overstep it, like you run the risk of being shut down or having a post shut down. And if you get multiple content pieces shut down, like my team was advising me, like don't post this now. Wait. It was a post about Andrew Tate and like certain things that like I respected in him and sort of correlating that to masculinity in men. But my team was like, don't do that now, because if this one gets like flagged, like you're fucked. And I got flagged twice in a week. Yeah. And bro, it tanked my engagement. It tanked my engagement. So you have to be.
That's where I feel. And my engagement got smashed, and I was just like, then
you did the fucking giveaways, bro. Like,
that was a bad call. Then you gotta like play by their rules, and this is what bugs me. Is kind of like we gotta play this song and dance of like, we want to get our message out there. We want to be, having more reach. But we can't say this, and we can't do that. And if we do that and say this, we're gonna get shut down, and then we're gonna get quieted. And it's just like
it's really frustrating, bro. It's really frustrating. But on the flip side too, it's like that's one aspect of it, but also you don't want to like make your audience go like, what the fuck is he on about? Like, because then your audience sense inauthenticity. Yeah. So you want to be controversial, but you don't want to be controversial to the point where it's not you. It always has to be you. It always has to be an extension of you, because if it isn't, that energy will transmit into what you post. I feel and that's where you kill your fan base.
I feel like I haven't been able to talk about how like pissed I am about how the pandemic was, because I'm scared of getting shut down. Like I just was like, man, my account's been clapped, and I'm like, I can't like talk about how much I think this is all some big scam.
So you can do it, but you got to be strategic. So instead of saying vax, you say the jab. Instead of saying the pandemic or corona, you say Rona, or you just like
you gotta
the
like
thing, or like 2020. Like when I just refer to 2020. You know, the thing in 2020. Like everybody knows what it is. So you just gotta not use those words, because if you say the word, even when you say vax now instead of vaccine, like it will pop up like information. Fucking government misinformation, like type shit. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. But
it's a lot to deal with, and it's just
it's
like,
a lot, bro. It's making it more difficult.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when things are more difficult, the stars will arise, because certain people will persist throughout that.
Yeah. What was it like in Norway during the thing in 2020?
That's a really good question. In Norway, it was kind of calm, to be honest. It wasn't that crazy. I remember summer 2020, like the beach. I've never seen that many people on the beach.
What?
Which was weird, bro. It was weird. Not a lot of people were wearing masks in the beginning, but like mask stuff kind of picked up. We were like late, so mask stuff became more popular in like 2021.
Okay.
But it wasn't that crazy, bro. It was kind of chill.
Yeah, I feel like the Scandinavians did it all pretty damn good.
The
Wait, is
Swedes-
Norway part of Scandinavia?
Yeah, so
Okay,
you got
technically,
Norway, Sweden, Denmark,
Finland?
and then Finland,
Yeah.
and then Iceland. That's
Oh,
Scandinavia.
Iceland's part of Scandinavia? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you been?
I have never been to Iceland.
I wanna
no,
check
bro.
out Iceland.
I really want to go.
Yeah,
I've been to a similar island called Svalbard, which is further north.
Okay.
I was telling somebody yesterday, but in they have 7 months of pure darkness. Like there is no light for 7 months.
What?
And then you have 5 months for like sun daytime all the time. So like I was there in summer, and the sun was like in the middle of the sky at 4 a.m. It's kind of crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think
It's a very high suicide rate in the winter.
Yeah, that seems
It's
like
only 2,000 people that live there too. Kind of weird.
That sounds intensely depressing. Like that much sun. Like I'd leave. Like there's no way.
I mean, even Norwegian people are extremely depressed in winter.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
What do they do to get by the depression?
Someone asked me that question yesterday. Actually, I have to do a yellow table dinner.
Okay.
How I get by is I've spent the last 4 months now in Norway, just in the winter, but I've just been grinding, and I've been traveling so much. Like it was an awesome time for me just to go within, integrate, get shit done, be in my routine, gym, work, just like really grinding it out. But most people, and when I'm not in that headspace, I travel because I have the freedom and money to do that. But most people, how do they cope with it? I mean, they fucking drink. They
I think that's like the normal coping
watch
mechanism. For people.
Netflix.
They just, drink, eat,
Basic
and,
shit.
and pacify.
Yeah.
And then my actual because I'm pretty prone to depression. Like I have been for a long time since I got a lot of concussions, and I know what my antidote for that is to be busy. Like I just need to be doing shit. I need a mission.
Just gotta do shit all the time.
I need to be doing something. Like I just need to be doing something I care about. And doing something that I love. Like I have to actually do like a thing. Like my favorite thing is like launching a business. I like to build businesses.
Yeah.
I hate managing. I don't want to manage shit.
Yeah.
I like to build something.
Come with the ideas and bring all the
generation.
tool. Yeah.
That's like my favorite thing, and then I'm happy doing it because I love seeing it grow and build.
Yeah.
And that's very satisfying for me. And so like if I'm depressed, like when I had my accident, it was like I came Lighthouse, we were building this place. I came on my crutches and like seeing it grow with Monty, and it was like that was very like satisfying. Yeah, it was helpful, very helpful to have a thing. So I think anybody who's going through depression, it's like go get a thing. Like
Bro,
go learn a thing.
Purpose.
Do a
Like
thing.
the biggest cure for depression is purpose.
Exactly.
Like you need a sense of like you need a reason to exist. Because if you don't have a reason to exist, like then you fucking down spiral in those negative thoughts.
Like one of the quickest things I did, because when I moved to Bali, firstly, I was pretty depressed and I was unsure of myself. I was going through a huge life transition. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life, and I learned Indonesian, and it was actually like a super antidote for depression because I learned a thing, and then I was able to use the thing to connect. So I was able to connect with the Indonesian people by learning this language and using it, and so right away it had a positive feedback loop of A, I can learn a thing, B, I can use the thing and connect with other people, C, and actually use it to like benefit and start businesses. So I think going somewhere else and learning a language to connect with people was probably my most successful thing to do to get out of a depressive loop. It's like a quick, surefire thing. It gets you out of your comfort zone. You got to practice and like, oh, hey, I could do this. And it helped boost my confidence. So I feel like
that's the thing though, like especially the confidence piece too is so tied to depression.
Yeah.
And the way you build confidence is, and Jack Delosa said this, I'm going to sort of quote paraphrase him. You need to do shit that makes you feel like you are the shit. So you need to do things where you are proud of yourself. So you need to, like, for example, that could be building a business, or that could just be learning to fucking handcraft something. But whatever, like when you see something and you're like, wow, that's impressive, learn that thing, because that is going to grow more confidence in you than anything else. Like the fact that I can do double backflip on trampoline, most people don't give a fuck, but I care, and so that gives me confidence. And so it doesn't matter what the actual practical thing is of it. It's
how
just,
much you make
it
it
gives
matter.
me something. And I love that.
Yeah. I like that. Back to content. A lot of people starting out their pages and they feel not confident in putting stuff out. You know, they're worried about what people think. They're worried about, you know, will it take off? And what do you say to these people just starting their pages or wanting to grow it?
Ground yourself in why you're doing this. Like, who are you here to serve? And before you ask yourself, like, because you might have a content piece and you're like a little bit uncertain about posting it, but then ask yourself this question: is this post going to help somebody? Is it going to serve the person that you are here to serve? If the answer is yes, then it doesn't fucking matter what you feel about it. Because if it will serve, it is serving its purpose, then the post should go out. If it's not serving, but it's more of an ego thing, but you feel good about it, okay, cool, awesome. That's cool too. But if it's neither of those, if you don't feel good about it and it actually isn't really serving, then you shouldn't post it. So that's a very basic filter. But it also requires a level of awareness, because a lot of people are on social and they're kind of scooting about and they don't know why they're doing it. And I don't blame it either. That was me for the longest time. I just knew I wanted to do something. I've always enjoyed creating, so I've been doing it more for myself than anything. Now it's a balance of it's for myself, but also for my audience. But have a reason as to why you're doing it and get really clear on that intention. Because when you are grounded in that intention, virality becomes a lot easier, because everything goes through that lens.
Yeah. So you need a clear why, a clear intention. I feel like sometimes I'm like all over the place, where I got like all these businesses.
So what would you say your intention is with your social?
I want to inspire people to live a more vibrant, like I want them to push themselves. They can go transform, go build your business, go live a more spiritual life.
Do a cold shower, go
help people.
Cryotherapy.
But I don't even post so much about that. It's more so I just want people to push their life to the fullest, in the sense that, like, you can launch your business, you can develop yourself spiritually, you can give, connect, inspire. Those are like my 3 jams. That's what I live by. You know, I need to be able to live, to give out of compassion. I need to be inspiring people and be inspired, and connection. I want people to feel connected.
Let's dissect that. What you now shared, there is so many opportunities for you to create really fun, playful, engaging, and versatile content. Like there's 20 ideas of content categories that I can list from just those 3 things that you shared. Like, you could do a video of you, like, what it's actually like in cryotherapy. You could talk about the benefits of that. Like, that might seem unrelated, but if you actually come back to the mission and why you're doing it, it's perfectly connected. It's really uncomfortable, and it forces you to grow and improve physically and mentally. And that's really what it comes down to. So, and that's the best way that you could do this too. Because if you sit in your fucking studio all day and talk about motivational shit and like this thing and that thing and like you can do this and you can do this and you can do this, like that's cool. But what's even better is actually going out and fucking doing shit. Go into the rice fields and like cover yourself in mud simply because you've got brand new clothes and it's uncomfortable to get dirty, and now it's like, fucking, I got a business meeting and I'm gonna show up to the business meeting with mud on me, and that's uncomfortable, and how the fuck am I gonna like be professional but like still do it because I'm comfortable? That's an extreme example, super random.
I think Monty's gonna be pissed if I showed up in Lighthouse covered in mud.
But you get the idea, like content can come from anything, and that's really where I'm sort of pioneering and pushing the boundaries. Like literally anything can be a content piece. And when I go back to Norway, this has been present for me for like a minute, but I want to go to the trampoline park. I love trampolining. I've mentioned this so many times. You've
said the word trampoline about 8 times.
Right. But I want to go to the trampoline park and I want to do a video for my Instagram. And what the fuck would that be about? Well, that would be about inner child self-expression, because that's how you also become more of yourself and are able to, I mean, the flow we have on this podcast is fucking fire. And it's because we're both so tapped into our own self-expression. And that's so helpful in any situation. Anything, business and life, like it's communication, it's connection with people. The more you can tap into how you authentically express yourself, the more of a powerhouse you become in any situation, whether it's podcast or making a YouTube video or doing a business deal or selling somebody. And that all comes from, I can make a video about that, but I'm in a trampoline park. It's like, yo, what? But yeah, there actually is a connection. So that's what I would recommend anybody do, is like start making shit more practical and start bringing in real life things into your content and connect the dots. Because then it's fun and engaging.
That's a good information. You know, there's some parts where I like see people making content out of stuff and I'm just like, I don't care. But then when I see them actually link it back into the why, Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Now I can maybe watch you walking in the rice paddies.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right. But otherwise, I'm like, I don't care.
I mean,
Like,
if you're
there's
gonna
a-
make a post about psychedelic mushrooms, have B-roll clips of you actually tripping.
yeah,
Like, bro.
I'm just there looking at a tree,
Yeah.
touching the tree,
Bro.
looking at the leaf. Oh, look at this leaf.
I want to do that. I have a video. I recorded one of my psychedelic trips.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did 7 grams of mushrooms.
Oh, it's a hero dose.
Hero dose.
Okay, what
alone at midnight in the mountains in a cabin and a dark outside, cold winter.
That's crazy.
And it was a storm outside. It was the most insane experience I've ever had. It was the best way I can explain it is like if you've seen Lucifer, when Lucifer goes to hell, and he's like seeing these people experience this hell loop over and over, is kind of like that for 6 hours straight.
That sounds horrible.
It was horrible, bro.
What the
It was
fuck,
like,
bro?
imagine every single way that a human can feel pain.
Yeah.
And don't max each one out, but take like a good chunk of each and
Yeah.
just put it into someone. That was like the experience.
What?
It was so fucked up.
Gotta try that. What the
but
fuck?
like, so I have,
what the
and
fuck,
I recorded the whole thing. And it's been really hesitant
Can
to
we
like
have
go back and
B-roll of
watch
that on
it.
this
I've got
podcast?
B-roll of
Yeah.
that shit,
You
bro.
crying in the corner.
Bro, I was like crying and screaming and
Yeah.
purging but I want to do like.
Was there a net positive out of that?
Oh yeah, massive net
what
positive.
was
bro.
the benefit out of the looping hell loop of
Bro,
7 hours?
I went to hell
Okay.
and I came back.
Okay. All right. There's benefit in that.
That's bro.
There's benefit in that.
I've been to hell and
Yeah.
I've come back and I'm
Yeah.
like fucking like that's massive.
This is a part of life.
It was
It's
a part of
amazing.
life, and it also helped me connect more with. Like a lot of the hell loops I was living was like being a Viking, and I would like go over to my neighbor and I would burn their house with their children inside, as we do. It's
not very nice of you.
No, Norwegian Vikings were the most ferocious Vikings. Like they just didn't give a fuck. They'd go and just fuck off their neighbor if they wanted something, like whatever. And then my neighbor would come and he would burn my children, and then I would get killed in battle and I would respawn and I would do it again and I would die and respawn and just live in this life for like fucking an hour straight, which was really crazy. But it also, what it taught me was one of my purposes here on earth is to heal my generational trauma, heal my ancestral trauma.
Yeah,
Because bro, I don't really have a lot of trauma. Like, bro, you've gone through so much shit. Like you've gone through
Hell realms, for
so
sure.
much.
Yeah.
I grew up on a cushy cloud. We had 2 cars. We got a massive house. We have boat. We live by the ocean. Cabin. My dad's building a second cabin now. Like, and we're not rich as fuck, not at all. But we're like, most people are very wealthy. So we're middle class in Norway. My parents are middle class, but middle class is quite wealthy. We have a lot.
Yeah, Norway has a really high standard of living.
Very
the
high standard of
Scandinavian
living.
countries kill it. Like
Yeah.
they do really well with their infrastructure and how they set people up to
Yeah.
be living a successful life.
Yeah.
Actually, so the Scandinavians got it on point.
Yeah. And there's mixed feelings about it because it works, but I don't think it will work on scale. There's 5 million people in Norway, so it's not a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would work on scale, and we have so much money. There's like not trillions, but like hundreds of billions of dollars we have in like state fund.
Wow.
But we don't get any of that, bro. Like as a country, like the electricity prices, like we produce so much electricity in Norway, and we have but we're paying more than any country on earth for electricity right now because of the Ukraine thing. And we're like making all of it, so it's like, why not still give it cheap to the Norwegian people? No, we want to sell it and like make Norwegian people pay a lot of money. So that's kind of like not ideal.
Governments do their shit.
Governments
going
shit.
government.
Governments going government.
So
but,
yeah, what were you
but
saying?
circling back to like the mushroom thing, like
Yeah.
and the ancestral healing, like I don't have a lot of that trauma. So like what I'm learning is okay, and I know that I have been brought up the way I have because it's allowed me to tap into my heart and connect with God and grow and mature faster because I haven't had to backtrack and work through trauma and become the person I am today at a more early age so that I can serve this mission. And heal my trauma, because you can't start healing your generational trauma as effectively if you have tons of trauma yourself. Like you first got to go through that before you can tune into other people. And so it's very easy for me to like, if I see somebody start crying, like I could just sit down and like in 2 minutes I'll be tearing up myself because I'll just tune into them. and work through what they're feeling. And just the impact this has had on my family already, which it's been really, really profound. And my parents always used to be like super anti drugs and anti all of this stuff naturally, and anti, like when I dropped out of high school, my mom was like crying for a month straight, 3 months straight. She wouldn't want to talk to me. But now, because I've done what I needed to do to become who I wanted and was supposed to be, the way I'm showing up now and just the love that I have for life, like the energy in my family, everything's changed.
Yeah, I feel that exact same way, because obviously I went through a bit of a rough past,
Yeah.
and now my family sees the love I have for life and the care that I have for other people. Like my heart's really opened, and that's then allowed them to be happy for me. And I think that's a lot of people, they feel a lot of family shame, and there's a lot of conditioning in families, but the best thing that we can do is to live with a big open heart and love a life and love people, and then your family hopefully will come around.
I think that's the
key for
the
it.
purpose. That's why you are here,
Yeah.
to become the best version of yourself. Because when you are the best version of yourself, you are spreading the most amount of joy and love. And that is inspiring other people to become the best versions of themselves, which will bring more love and joy.
Yeah.
And that's how we change the world. And that's how you can make a very profound impact. Like my hometown is fucking going crazy now just because I started doing this thing. I've got 2 younger brothers, so that's obviously helped. But like all of their friends are like looking up to me and like following what I'm doing, and I'm very vocal and I'm on social media
and you're leaving your little hometown,
and I'm
in
leaving
Norway
and coming back, and like so everybody knows what I'm doing, and everybody, like so many people that I don't even know are impacted by this, and even my high school, which I dropped out of, is asking me to come back and like speak for the entrepreneurship class.
Do it.
Yeah, bro. I
didn't even graduate from this high school. You don't know. None of you need to either. I actually spoke at a high school right before I left. To come to Bali this trip. And I got kicked out of high school. So I got kicked out in grade 12. I was a bad kid.
It's so funny.
I finished adult ed the year after, and actually like got my diploma, but like because my mom was crying, and it was rough, man, to see like what could all happen out of that. It's very interesting. I feel like that actually played a big role in like us being able to live so outside of the box.
100%, bro.
So I think like people can use,
because you distance yourself from the programming in a lot of ways,
and then you can see you'll be all right. You can still be successful, but we had to work hard in other areas. So like I had to really catch up in my mental and emotional and spiritual development. That's what actually got me, where I was at now, is emotional regulation. If I wasn't able to be on top of my emotions and connect to people in a deeper way, because I finally connected to myself, none of this would happen. There's no way. There's no way. I would have fucked shit up for sure.
Yeah.
I was a mess, and I needed to like unmess.
How did you unmess?
Meditation, yoga first. Yoga was the vehicle.
How long did that take you to like unmess?
Couple years.
I love that word.
Yeah, unmess is a good one. Yeah, I never said that before. Firstly, I had to stop selling drugs and stop doing drugs. That the hard drugs was really obviously numbing, because I wasn't living my dharma. I wasn't living my path.
What kinds of drugs?
Opiates. I was doing Oxycontin. Yeah, I was doing a lot of fentanyl, Oxycontins, like fucking tons, because I was dealing them. So I just had like
how does that feel
Ziploc
like?
bags, like a hug from the sun and the love that you always wanted from your dad. Pretty much, it's just like and you just feel capable, like very capable. You can just
so
do
you're
whatever.
like, you can do shit when you're on
I'm super functional. I was like, I was running so much stuff while I was doing it. I was very able.
And how often did you do it? Like a day?
Once an hour. Yeah, it was intense.
And you smoke it, or
no, you like snort them, crush them, and snort them. It was pretty intense. You could just eat the pill.
And what's the long term? Like, what's the side effects after a week? Or does it take time to before you notice that shit is going on?
Definitely, it fucks with your emotional regulation big time, because you're spiking your dopamine so high that then it's pretty much impossible to be happy without it.
Okay.
So that's where I was at. I was intensely depressed, because if I wasn't high, I would feel this massive weight, because I was doing it to numb my feelings of already feeling discontent and not being in my path. So I'm numbing, and the more that you suppress and numb, the more power you give to whatever you're suppressing. So that suppression of the feelings of discontent were then growing like this massive.
How the fuck do you like get out of that cycle?
You gotta feel your feelings. You're gonna have to feel
like you're gonna have a period where you just feel like
I was depressed like crazy for a while. Yeah, of course. But then you get a mission. So I was like, okay, I'm leaving the dope game. I'm moving to Bali. I'm going to start my life over. And I started going down the path of, okay, my mission was to develop myself. Because I was like, I felt.
Yeah, I remember you told the story of LCL and like with the Vietnamese guy.
The
like,
airport story. Yeah. Crazy, right?
So that's how you first came to Bali.
Yeah.
Okay, and your mission was like, I'm leaving the dope game. I need a full reset, and so therefore I'm going to Bali.
Myself. Yeah, I just
did you feel like that was like a key move going somewhere else?
Absolutely changed my life. I had to do it because I had to get. I was so stuck in the conditioning of who I was in my old hood. And like I was so stuck in that. I didn't know another way to live. And as soon as you see that there's another way to live, you can then go live it. Like it's way easier. You can't grow into what you don't know.
Where did that seed get planted though in your head? When did you?
I saw Eat, Pray, Love. Well, honestly, that's why I'm Ink, Pray, Love. I saw Eat, Pray, Love, and I was like, whatever that is, I want to go there. And
I'm confused. You saw Ink, Pray, Love?
No, you know the movie Eat, Pray, Love? Julia Roberts?
Eat, Pray. No, I don't.
You don't know this movie?
No.
That didn't make it to Norway?
No.
God damn, bro. That's a famous movie.
Yeah, okay.
So I saw that movie, and they had a scene in Bali, and I made my way there. And when I got out there, I had to feel a lot of this shit that was bubbling underneath me. Like, I really had to feel it. And I was depressed, man. It was hard. And then when I got into developing myself and learning about mindfulness, really, mindfulness is a key. I think we should be teaching that in school. Everybody should learn about how to regulate your emotions in your mind and be content. And that's what actually started working. Okay, that and then yoga, because you need to be in your physical body. You need to be, okay in your body. So I started practicing yoga, which helped me kind of iron out a lot of this dysfunction, because then I was getting myself mentally regulated enough to do some deep inner work.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to work on your mind when your mind's a mess. You need to calm yourself down first. So go do something physical, and then you can do the inner work. And that inner work, I went hard on it, bro. I went deep. Like I was doing something crazy every week, like just to go into it, breath work and plant medicines and
you're
courses
really
and
determined
classes.
to heal that.
It was a do or die situation for me. I had to. I did not want to end up a loser. It was just like, if I do not do this, I'm just gonna fuck my whole life up and waste it. And I knew I had potential, and I didn't want to waste that potential. That was a huge fear of mine. It was like, if I end up a loser, I fucked up, because I could have been something great. No way. I can't do that.
That's profound,
can't do it.
bro.
I can't do it. So I was like your age when I was getting out, and that was a massive shift for me, because I was able to see, if we push it for a positive angle, like we go for ourselves, we go all in on ourselves, on our own development. We go all in on being a happier, more skilled, developed human being. It's gonna take you somewhere dope. I didn't know where it was gonna take me, but I knew if I just kept walking this path, I'm gonna see some cool shit along the way. And I've seen some pretty cool shit now. So it's like, that is the way to do it. And that's what I love talking about in my story, in my socials, is that I do want people to be able to feel that that is out there for them, that they can go all in on yourself. That's it. Just go all in on yourself, and you'll see you pushing yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It's gonna have some massive benefits, like massive. It's the only path to live, I feel like. And
I agree, bro. It is the only
people.
path to live. And even like when speaking with Dave about this stuff, it's
the mission.
like the mission, that's the path to live, but it also takes a lot of time. And I mean, if a lot of people ask me like, how can I do what you do? And I'm like, yo, if I'm like to lay out the journey of how I got to where I am, it's the most random fucking messy thing. It's impossible for me to like give somebody an action plan of like how to do what I did. And that's how it's going to look for most people as well. Like you're going to think you're doing this thing, but then it's not going to end up like that. But it's a good thing that you don't know it's not going to work out, because that's what's going to continue to go. Like I thought that YouTube was going to be how I like made millions. And because I was so like confident in that, or like, there's no way I'm going to make less money from YouTube. That's what kept me going. If I knew that YouTube wouldn't be like my thing in 2 years from that point, like I would have probably quit. But I thought I was going to be, so I continued. And then something comes and you adapt and you adapt and you adapt and you adapt. And that's like the flow. And that's the more of that experience you have, the more of just shit you try, the more shit you try, the more shit you learn about yourself. And that is the path to finding your purpose. But you have to go through that to really figure shit out.
You got to walk the path.
You have to walk the path.
Back to content and Traffic Hive. I realized I didn't really explain what Traffic Hive was at the start, and I didn't really like give people context of like what you actually do. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that, because we've been just homies talking casually. It was like, sorry, podcast people, I fucked that up.
I mean, I think this is a fun conversation though, and at the end of the day, all of this is tying into content creation and branding, because everything we speak of is like fundamental to having a brand that is successful. Like if you have a purpose, like you are so much more equipped than every other guy out there to crush it on your brand, because you bring your audience along with that purpose and mission.
Purpose, authenticity, don't be afraid to be polarizing, consistency in getting your shit out there. Talk about real life things, like actually what's going on in your life, and tie it back to your mission.
Yes, bridge that gap.
Okay.
Yeah, connect those dots.
You miss anything else?
I mean, that's pretty much the crux of it. Storytelling is like a big piece too.
Of course,
and like getting really practical is like having a solid hook that sells people on the thing that you're teaching them before you're teaching them. Like sell them first, then teach them. Don't start talking about, so this powerful quote and blah, blah, blah. No, tell me why I should know the quote before you tell me the quote. That's sort of the game right now. And this will change in probably 6 months from now, but this is where we're presently at.
Okay.
Also, focus on the templates. Like everybody's running around doing the subtitles on the video style. You can still do that, but don't do it in the way that it's done right now. You should actually lean back, and instead of having like a word pop up every second, have like 5 words at a time, because we're slowing down a little bit now. We're noticing this, because that's storytelling. Storytelling isn't like crazy aggressive. Slowing down a little bit.
Because I was seeing like our attention spans get lower and faster and faster.
Can I
like,
snooze, by the way?
You can go for it. Go ahead. And so he loves these snooze. These tobacco things from Norway. It's a very Viking thing to do, isn't it? And so that's interesting seeing that come together, and seeing that we're actually slowing down, because I was really worried about our attention spans going from 1 minute video to 30 seconds to now then 15, and now people can't watch more than a 7-second video.
Yeah,
so just
unless they're really sold on why they should watch this 1 minute video.
Yeah.
So that also just comes down to your ability to create dope content.
Okay.
Because people still watch movies. Like you'll still watch a movie. Why do you watch that movie? Well, it was a dope trailer and your friend said it was epic. Okay, so there's a strong selling point. You're sold on why you should watch the movie. So sell before you share.
Dope. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Tell before you share. That's
Sell
great.
before you share.
How can people get involved or reach out to you and connect with Traffic Hive? Explain what Traffic Hive is, firstly.
So Traffic Hive is the name of our company. Traffic Hive is a Instagram growth, content, and monetization agency. We work primarily with conscious leaders and heart-led influencers that want to be a stand for the new world, the new earth that we are creating together, that have loving and incredible messages and actually want to serve people. The way we support these people is we grow their Instagram account. With influencer marketing, so that the quality of the followers is the highest of the highest. We do all their content. We do content lead generation, and we do appointment setting in the DMs. We have a lot of clients. Some clients making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 per month from Instagram just with the traffic and content we provide. And so that also entails that their back end is dialed. So we only work with people that are doing about $50,000 to $100,000 a month, because that is a requirement for our services to actually be worth the investment, because we are the most expensive agency in the marketplace right now. And yeah, we're also expanding into a B2C model where we're leaning more into coaching and courses, which is really exciting. I'm going to be leading and spearheading that, especially with my Instagram as well, which is exciting. But yeah, where can they reach out? I'm on Instagram at Life by Thor. That's Life by Thor, Thor, like the God of Thunder. And
that's his name in my phone, by the way. Thor, the God of Thunder.
The God of Thunder.
It's great.
And YouTube, I'm Thor Aarsand. And but my YouTube, I'm reactivating my YouTube channel. Actually, I'm really excited about that. And then where else am I? I'm in Norway. I'm in Stavanger in Norway presently. Well, no, I'm in Bali, but that's where I live. I have an apartment being built there right now. It's going to be done in a couple of months, which is exciting.
I have a feeling though, by the time this is out, you're going to move to Bali, because this is your like 4th day in Bali, and it's blowing your fucking mind. I have a feeling you're to take my place in Bali and just like
and
swap.
be the
white Viking
version
of me.
white Viking mayor of Bali. I think I did a good job.
That's just some silly nickname people were giving me. You're like the mayor of the expats in Bali.
Mayor of
That's
the
funny.
expats.
That's
You are.
funny.
You totally are.
I've always wanted to be a corrupt politician. One day, that's a goal. I won't be bad corrupt. I just mean like good
But
corrupt.
like good corrupt,
Like
yeah,
a
because you
good
got to be a
corrupt.
little bit corrupt to like
This
actually
is-
serve people.
This is the
because
way the world works, man.
Yeah.
Everybody. No, I'm just fucking around. But I would milk that parking spot. Like
Yeah.
I would be getting
Yeah.
that like diplomacy parking spot. Hell yeah. Camera guys like that one.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, this was a great podcast. I had just
Yes.
fun hanging out with you
Yeah.
as usual, and more fun adventures to come, and more content to be created. And
sure.
thank you, and thank you everyone for listening. Again, if you want to come to Bali or abroad, Lighthouse Studios, this is where we are right now. This is the content creation studio. If you want to do your courses, your classes, if you want to film it in your hometown, send it here. We will be your remote editing bay. We have an incredible team that are producing high-level, world-class content at an amazing rate. So you're not paying extortionate prices wherever you are. Pay awesome prices and support the Balinese people, the Indonesian people doing a craft and becoming skilled, epic human beings. Lighthouse is here for you.
Probably actually going to cost you less flying to Bali, shooting here in Bali in Lighthouse, and flying home than it would cost just to shoot at home.
Yeah, absolutely. Message me. I'll have you picked up at the airport.
Boom.
Awesome. Peace, homies, and
Much
enjoy
love.
the rest of your beautiful day. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Ink Pray Love podcast. I hope you found it inspiring, entertaining, funny, and also feeling a little bit more present and connected to yourself. Please leave a review and like and subscribe and do all those things. I'd really appreciate that. As well as if you're feeling in a giving mood, this podcast is there for the charities that I love to support. Go to www.aaronbaya.com/charity and get some of those good karma points. This podcast is brought to you by Lighthouse Studios in Bali, as well as Full Reset Coaching. That is my coaching practice. And if you're looking for help in business, inner game impact, and building your legacy to be something you're proud of, your brand, your business, and how you walk the earth and who you impact, and also having the mindset and the heart set to be able to be happy handling it all, I'm here for you. Just DM me. Let's go. Peace out, homies. I'll see you on the next episode.